Learned helplessness. It is a psychological condition in which an individual has learned to assume helplessness in a situation, usually after experiencing inability to avoid an adverse circumstance, despite having the power to change its unpleasant consequences. It can also be defined as a mental state in which a person learns that she or he will continue to fail in a task after having encountered several unsuccessful attempts, even though she or he has the potential to finish the task of action. Thereby, the person stops attempting for it. Some examples of learned helplessness could be continuing to smoke despite several attempts to quit, causing a person to believe that she is a permanent smoker, or inability to pass an examination after many supplementary attempts may make a person believe that he cannot succeed even if he tries the next time, despite having the potential to do so, or being unable to lose weight after making dietary lifestyle changes may cause a person to believe that it's impossible and thus the person can give it up. Learned helplessness occurs when someone repeatedly faces uncontrollably stressful situations and doesn't exercise control when it becomes available. Hence, they no longer try to change it even when it is possible for them. Basically, the brain's default state is to assume that control is absent and the presence of helplessness is what is actually learned. And this is what brain science reveals to us. Importantly, previous failures hamper the achievement motivation of an individual, thereby decreasing the self-esteem and self-efficacy of the person. Obviously, there is no doubt that pessimists develop a tendency to anticipate disasters and tend to see negative events as permanent ones. They think that things are not gonna change, and thereby they start giving a personal meaning to whatever happened in the past, perhaps by supposing that it was their fault. Subsequently, people start developing an association to a consequence, thinking that he or she cannot do anything perfectly. Learned helplessness can lead to various health implications, including psychological stress, emotional disruption. It can also impair our cognitive functionality by bringing about problems in thinking, reasoning, problem solving, decision making, memory, etc. It can lead to depression, or depression can also be a cause of learned helplessness. Learned helplessness can also lead to weakened immune system. The best way to overcome learned helplessness is through learning optimism. By learning optimism, we will be able to direct our thoughts towards positivity, thus break negative thought cycles. Being optimistic can be positively correlated to better life outcomes. By receiving support and encouragement from family and friends, it helps us to dampen psychological stress that is caused by learned helplessness. It also increases the lost self-esteem and confidence. By identification of thoughts which are leading to depressive episodes or depressive symptoms, we will be able to bring about the modification of those special thoughts, and hence we will be able to change those negative thoughts and emotions into positive, realistic ones. By forgetting about past events, we will start getting a future orientation. Thereby, we will be able to prevent vicious thoughts. This reduces the possibility of developing depressive symptoms. A good intrinsic motivation can help a lot in attaining success in whatever we do. It is essential to upkeep this motivation and confidence even in times of repeated failure to prevent learning helplessness. Essentially, anyone who faces repeated failures in life, which is basically all of us, need to be aware of the phenomena called learned helplessness. This inoculates us from falling into its unproductive clutches and gives us an opportunity to have a handle over our situation. Consequently, it gives us more power to better it.